Hello everyone and welcome to my second game in the quarterfinals of the Steel Division 2 monthly tournament versus Koniux. And we are up 1-0 as we won on Orsha East, and now we moved over to the other Orsha, to Orsha North for game number 2. And the pick and ban phase was quite interesting, and I ended up with Forfalpina. As you can see, the maps were Ostrona, Hauschaia, Tannenberg, Orsha East. I didn't want to play Orsha East again, so yeah, we ended up on Orsha North. Bans relatively standard on both sides. 44th, he banned 3rd VDV, because it's a good division, and it's one of my favorites, so that one got cut out. But other than that, really standard bans. DFL for Fallschirmjäger, 17th SS, 97th and co. And Koniux played the first Polish, Pichotti, and I picked one of my favorite divisions, Forfalpina, playing at Maverick, and yes, it won't be an easy game here, as my opponent with the first Pichotti has a lot of T-34s, which is a bit annoying to deal with, but our infantry can beat theirs in the forest, and we have the better artillery. And if we use the artillery right, we could silence maybe the off-map, the AA. And if we silence the AA, then maybe our airplanes can come in to handle the rest. But we have to survive the onslaught of the T-34 still then, and that could be a rough task here. So this was the preset. Yep. What is speaking against us? What is speaking for us? So first Polish, really solid infantry on the mid-ranges, most likely better than ours. Like, yes, it is better than ours on the mid-ranges. We have slightly better CQC infantry. They have faster transports though, so the PTRS, for example, can come into nasty positions and force us to unload. I started with a bit of a cheese here though, as I wanted to get this town. So I started with an off-map plane, in hopes that my opponent wouldn't start with a plane themselves to get this shut down. Panzerschreck, MG42, Lancia Flamme, Alpini Commando and co. Moving down to the south, trying to stop the opponent here. But as you can see, a lot of PTRS all around the map. 6 already at the start. Tried to get into all the nasty spots. So my fast transports and my AS are needed to try to deal with that. PTRS coming around in the north. Obviously, the AS has to be really careful. P26 luckily gets to kill on one unit of PTRS over here. So my Alpini fast get through. PTRS over here also get killed by a 20mm. So that went well. Off map is called in, down in the south. No major losses either. Just yet to the PTRS. But they're still around. Off map coming in. Units here are ready to follow it up as soon as it comes down. Over here, PTRS now shoots as well, but we unload just in time. Luckily, the PTRS slightly out of position there. All around. Saperji rocks are around already here though, so that could be dangerous. And the off map now comes in. 13-11 for my opponent as they get the spot over here. Pak 40 though kills one infantry unit, and the Bezalieri with transport should be able to deal with a flamethrower. But now the charge comes in as the off map has finished. Snipers will try to deal with PTRS. Saperji rocks come around though, so they have to be careful. T-34, as I said, the most annoying part for me to deal with. My Pak 40s obviously can do it, my tanks not so much. With the 41 models maybe, with the rest, with the T-34 East, with the 90 frontal armor, it's a lot rougher. But charge comes through, get one flag here. Ognias get killed over here by the Bezalieris, a unit as I showed in the latest video with good amount of firepower. Pioneers moving forward against the original Kani, whilst the G55 tries to pin down the Saperji rocks here. I bought it to protect the off-map plane, and yeah, if I have it already around, I might as well use it to do other tasks as well. IL-2 here, trying to come around. G55 is on the hunt order. We'll try to shoot it down. But was a bit out of position. Needs a long time now to get behind it, and the IL-2 already pretty far. But the push through the town here is working out. And the reinforcements here coming in a bit late. G55 trying its best to hunt down the IL-2, but IL-2 gets out. Off-map lane though is safe. And with the G55 around and no AA, I also dare to get a G1 out already. 1 out of 2 cards of G1s. 1 in A, 1 in B, so 3 G1s in general in the deck. And they are kind of key to deal with T-34s. And the first one already gets hunted down here. Meanwhile, Pioneers try to deal with the Sapegi rocks up here. J87 G1 also gets the BA10. But Sapegi rocks pushed back by my Pioneer. They can't get the TNT off. Meanwhile, T-34E in fight with my P-26. P-26 on long range can deal with them. Not on when the T-34 can retaliate though. Then you should disengage, and that's what we're gonna do. Meanwhile, G55 tries to use its time around here. T-34 and Solki pushed me off the hill here, but Panzerschreck at least got the kill on the T-34 up the hill, so a bit softer target now here. And if we get more infantry together with the off-map in, we might be able to retake it, but a couple of PTRS still around, which can be pretty nasty. Meanwhile, 20mm and P26 beat down the Strelky LKM before they can do any more harm. Pioneers tried to get in, but Sapegi Rocks is still around. And will kill the Pioneer. Tuzhnia CKM under heavy fire. J87 G1 trying to get onto some T-34s. Off map comes in on the south. Reinforcements on the way, but T-34 on the way as well. But 1311 is hold for now. 50-minute time limit is activated, so ticks are value at any stage of the game. But obviously far from winning the game here with this 1311. And the opponent starts to bring in AA to push back my G55 and my G1 from killing off T-34s easily. Pioneer trying to get in here, but I'm a bit late to the party, not following up the off-map in time. Bad, timing there by me. Underestimating the slowness of the Wunko once more. Pioneer number 2 coming in here with 2-star veterancy. Versus the Sapegi Rocks in a 1v1, they should win, and they do. So, first unit killed there with these, and the Stalky LKM in the deep forest should not stand a chance. That's where my Pioneers should have the advantage. G1 over here gets hit by a 37mm, is close to dying. That would be a heavy loss, losing a G1 this early on. But it barely survives. Should have got it home way earlier than I did. But yeah, it at least will come back later on. Meanwhile, Fokker Wolf is used elsewhere to hit infantry. Does good damage to its Strelky. Not finishing it off though. Strelky LKM in the north. In a fight with a P26. And a P26 shouldn't get penetrated frontally by the PTRD, so Strelky should disengage, otherwise they will lose there. That's the Pioneer and the Alpini with Panzerfaust try to move forward to get onto the T-34, try to get another flag, getting closer to the 59. First artillery piece comes in, as the first AA piece has come in, so trying to get on target there later on. G55 maybe at the same time trying to stop the IL-2M, but that's not that easy, especially not with the AA around. P26 gets hit, but thanks to the G55's stress damage, the P26 at least will survive for now. IL-2M is around on the hunt for the Pak 40 and will get the kill. As 250 kilogram bombs, even if you try to dodge, they still do a lot of damage. And I lost my radio down here, as my leader has fallen. So currently my Obicha is pretty inefficient. And Avruk is putting up pressure again. Yes, I have the 1410, but T34 numbers are rising slightly, and my forces in the south are somewhat disorganized, and the IL-2 pressure is a harsh one, and I don't have AA around. Enemy has AA around to keep the IL-2s protected, so won't be easy at the moment to do anything against this pressure against me. Strelky LKM also on the way to retake the town, as my forces had to fall back. T-34 being used well as a fire support weapon, especially since the DT buff, the T-34 quite a bit more helpful in that regard. T-34E on the hill over here also helping out, dealing with my infantry on the ground. And Saperji Rocks is running towards my Pak 40 here, which would be a big loss as well. I don't have too many of those, only 8 in general. 2 cards, 1 in A, 1 in B. Another Obitsa coming in, as we're closing in onto B phase, where obviously this game will go into overdrive with Maverick versus Maverick. AAP's now coming up, as I don't want to get spammed by IL-2s all game through without trying to defend myself. So 90mm on the way. Basil Yaris to get some radio into the south, as I finally realized, damn, I don't have accurate shot down there. I need something that gives me accurate fire there. And the Svaji Rocks run over my Pak 40. And this ain't great at all. Losing the Pak 40 means that dealing with T-34s will be a good bit tougher. At least the IL-2 stayed around for too long. And unlike my G1, it wasn't able to escape. G55 got the shutdown there, so at least one of the nasty planes is down. But my 90mm slowly makes it to the front line. Really the biggest weakness of this weapon. Like, the 90mm is the best in the game, but it sadly comes in the worst transport possible. The Pavesi, with 25 kilometers on the road. And Focke-Wulf being used in the north, trying to help keeping the enemy's push slowed down here. But the enemy's forces for sure stronger than mine here by now. Off-map plane coming in might help. Try stopping that. I'm not sure if I still had a salvo left. Have to double check. I think I only used 2 so far. One here and one over here. But we'll see. Meanwhile, Obitsa now with accurate shot, trying to deal damage to the T-34. Trying to deal damage to units in here, but there are none. T-34 though, still alive. And Ojni Alkani pushing heavily. And my Pioneers for now still holding. But only for now. Strelky LKM coming in alone though. That doesn't work out against Claimers and Berettas. It seems like I already used all my off maps. Or am I just not sure where to use it? Maybe I used it twice down here? Not sure. G1 though comes in, gets another kill onto a T-34, which helps a lot. Really my most valuable unit here right now, as this allows me to then trade against the infantry with my light tanks, as the T-34s can bully everything I have. So I need to deal with them with anti-tank guns or with AA pieces, with air units. Another 90mm coming in the north. That can also deal with tanks, I guess, on 2000 meter range. Question is where to get good 2000 meter range on this map. 75mm, currently a bit off target. Not gonna lie, not the best direct fire. Could have maybe been more helpful around here. Maybe trying to get this flag back. Currently hits the 12-12. Whilst Ojni Alkani push into Pioneers. And the TNT allows the Pioneers to push them back quite quickly. TNT plus Flamer versus disheartened units. So, good kill there. Whilst Pioneers come around over here and get into position. Pioneers moving around. AAP's trying to deal with my G55. And AA piece. Yeah. But the P26 is moving forward. P26s in good numbers here now. Armored push is set up. Infantry support though, maybe slightly lacking. And the M42 can penetrate these tanks. Not sure why this one isn't aiming, but it got killed off there. And 2 T-34s on the way to try to deal with my P-26s there as well. Panzerschreck. Pushing in a bit here. Pioneer coming in. Artillery really not hitting much. Bit of a waste. Another Pioneer coming in though. Try to deal with the situation. And the 90mm actually in a good spot. Trying to deal with the T-34. Will get the kill. And another Obitze coming in. Trying to help out with the artillery fire. Flying onto the T-34 down here now. T-34 most likely will get hit. And Pioneers move forward in here as well. 12-12 situation. Meanwhile, P-26 in the north. Engaging onto the Strelky LKM. Not quite getting the kill though. Obitze coming in. 90mm on the Strelky LKM action over here. What's the Pioneers versus the Edge Shelgovis going on there? Another JO87 G1 tech onto some T-34s. 37mm is around though. So the G1 nearly gets fully pinned down, only gets one shot off. So my ambush onto this T-34 is not working out. My opponent is adapting. So P-26s here are falling. One T-34 though got killed at least. And this P-26 could come around to ambush. My micro there a bit off maybe. Yeah, that would be good. AA piece is falling. At least I bait out the AA, and the AA is not focus firing my G1, so my G1 will get out. P-55 on the way back as well. P-26 could come around to backstab this unit. Else artillery pieces are firing all around the map. Now trying to kill off the T-34, but they are out of ammo over here. Wasted a lot of ammo down on the south. Pioneers, together with Autoblindata, tried to clean up the forest over here. But Blindata having an alignment issue there. But Alpini Faust on the way with the Panzerfaust. PTRS also got killed, so Autoblindata should have an easier time. And Pioneer, together with Alpini, can hopefully deal with this. Though 2 Sapergi have a good chance of getting the TNT off. So heavy fights down here. Pioneer versus Sapergi over here as well. Pioneer disengaged there for a second. Whilst more artillery comes in the north. Town over here never got attacked. And P-26 came around to finish off the T-34 from behind. So the T-34s have been dealt with. Infantry amounts though still relatively low up in the north. Could be higher. Whilst the infantry fight in the forest here is going on. The General Govi will be dealt with. Sapergi getting hit by the flamethrower at least. Can't use that TNT right now. We'll try to use that TNT onto the Alpini Faust. Pocket Wolf coming in, trying to pin them all down. Trying to get them to surrender. And this one at least should be pinned down in a second. And then surrender. There we go. Sapergi over here also should go down quickly. And with that, Focke-Wulf bombing run, we secure the victory in this forest to allow us getting this flag back, bringing us back to a 13-11 to slowly get the tick onto the opponent. But the pressure was still mounting. Like, action around all the map. Good play with the T-34s usually with my opponent, like realizing that this is the way to victory and bringing out quite a lot of them, and that was quite nasty. I needed to find solutions for them, and that got harder and harder at this stage. So I was a bit worried at this stage for sure, and it wouldn't get easier anytime soon. G1s will try to hunt them down, but the 37mm is there. I needed to deal with the AA. Pocket Wolf at least got its bomb off. Nearly got the kill there. Artillery could finish it off later maybe as well. Artillery in the south also will try to focus down AA soon as well. T-34 here dealing with my light tanks. What T-34 is pushing through the forest. Yes, I have the 1311. Yes, I have the slight advantage, but that doesn't mean anything if I can't finish off the game. And the enemy is bringing in better AA. 85mm coming up. And so I need something to deal with that. The artillery trying to deal with the T-34 here. Autoplane Data together with M14 trying its best. Not quite sure what the T-34 was doing here. Trying to aim, I guess. I got it stunned down quick enough though. So I was able to get it surrender here. As the Autoplane Data 43 luckily affects the front line. Pioneers over here also trying to come in. Against the Strelke LKM. Getting a TNT off. And blowing them into smithereens. Then able to push into the forest. But two T-34s are around here as well. And the G1 won't have an easy time against the 37mm. Artillery now though trying to hunt that down. Trying to get the kill there. Pioneer is doing a good job over here. The Strelke LKMs trying to get his kill there. Will finish it. But PTRS is around here as well. Pioneer though gets the kill there too. Alpini Faust trying to get a Panzer Faust off. Get the kill. Only one T-34 remaining. A bit out of position now that the infantry has fallen. Not quite on par. Not coming in synchrone move there. T-34s and the infantry of my opponent. A bit off. And the artillery deals with the 37mm. G1 also coming in for a T-34. Gets the kill too. And the T-34 over here is getting hunted down as well. Strelke LKM deal with my Autoplane Data in the south. G1 on the hunt for a T-34 though. And the AA has fallen. So G1 will get the kill there. And this is how I want to play this game. Deal with the AA. Deal with the medium tanks. And then kill off infantry with my light armor and my infantry cost efficiency. Like I can deal with every kind of infantry setup once I deal with the light tanks. But with the medium tanks, but my light tanks and so on are pretty cost efficient in that. But I need to deal with the T-34s first, as they can destroy my whole army single-handedly, basically. G1 coming in the north, gets the kill there. Pretty lucky there. Good amount of AA around. 37mm though finally goes down. 85mm tries its best to shoot down my G1, but G1 still around. And that means I have 3 G1s still in the air. And that's a good amount of anti-tank coming around, reloading relatively quickly. And always having one around to deal with a T-34 push. And this is the moment where I then start to get really cost efficient if the enemy lets that happen. 37mm over here gets hunted down by the L3. But Ojmi Alkani coming around to try to deal with them with their PTRD. Artillery now on the hunt for the 85mm. Pocket Wolf trying to get the kill onto the 37mm. Not quite on target, but will get the kill. So only one A piece in the north as well. Opponent not trying to deal with me just yet. Now coming in with Yak 1Bs. T-55 is on the hunt though. 90mm not having the line of sight sadly. So the G1 is in a bit of a pickle. But the first Yak 1 goes down. G1 trying to get out. Yak 1 is around. T-55 trying to hunt it down. And Yak 1 not able to get around just yet. 90mm though out of position. Yak 1 is getting around. Ju-87 G1 is trying to get out of there. T-55 on the hunt. But the Ju-87 goes down. If the 90mm would have been in a better position, that would have been a way easier fight against this thing. Meanwhile, infantry pushed in the south again, and my infantry numbers by now have dwindled a bit here. The Pioneer though still deal with everything in that forest relatively easily. Yak 1B goes down as well, so still in the end a decent fight in the air, but all my opponent needs to do is killing off all my G1s and then run me over with T-34s, so losing one of them like this is a big issue. I shouldn't have lost it like that. I shouldn't have kept him around like that. Meanwhile, Katyusha not doing too much to my 90mm. But the south got retaken, so my opponent is up to a 13-11. My push in the north has been finished off as well. But my air force is still around. Out the Blindata, catching off some Saperji. 2 AA pieces around in the south again. Artillery trying its best. Tried to deal with the infantry here in the forest. And with the radio, they also hit pretty well. As you can see, every hit, one infantryman killed off here right now. That's pretty good. Now trying to deal with the T-34 and with the infantry. IL-2M coming in. And with artillery I also was able to clean out this, so I at least got one more flag back. IL-2M trying to get in onto my 35mm, got stopped here by the 90mm though. And Focke-Wulf is on the hunt. And no fighters around for my opponent as we killed them off. To stop the Focke-Wulf, no AAE in the center either. So we get the IL-2. And artillery is starting to pin down the T-34. And then the P-26 maybe could come around and finish it off. Or the 90mm could do the job without having to fear to get too much damage from the T-34. 90mm now trying to help out. Infantry in the south though is rather nasty. Landschaft Army trying to come back up there. L3 trying their best as well. Double AA in the rear. Pretty obnoxious. D1 has to be careful. We don't want to lose a second one. So D1 should just fall back here. Pioneery trying their best to come up here. T-34 is around. Luckily it doesn't have line of sight on my Pioneery there though. So it can't just get the snipe. Could move a bit forward though and then finish them off maybe that way. Pioneery in a rough position. Artillery could be needed. Maybe some smoke would be nice. Artillery though now focus on the 37mm to try to silence the enemy AA. And Koniux not moving the AA throughout the game may be one of the biggest issues for dealing with my air and my artillery. If you let your AA pieces be stationary and let them be easy targets, the artillery will be super efficient against them. If you start moving them, it's quite a bit harder. E1 now trying to come around as the 37mm has been pinned down. So the 34 number 1 will at least fall. But the 85mm still trying its job. 37mm nearly going down here. Not quite though. Focke-Wulf. Not sure what they tried to do. But yes, 37mm not quite going down. L3 though, helping out the Pioneers. Pioneers made it up. The T-34 has fallen and the Pioneers easily should deal with anything in this forest. In the north, T-34 is pushing up again a bit. A couple of M14s coming in. AAP is in the far rear. But Pioneers deal with the Strelky LKMs. Getting the pin down there. Artillery once more doing its job against an 85mm. Trying to get the kill there. Trying their best to shoot that down. Whilst the 75mm over here once more try to kill off the 37mm. But the 85 here not fallen yet. Off-map lane is down, but it obviously didn't have an off-map at this stage anymore. And G1 comes around once more to kill another T-34. And the T-34 numbers are dwindling thanks to those G1s. G1's really the most important unit of this whole game. One of the reasons why Koniux back in the day was so strong, because this was also the way how you played them basically. You like you killed off the enemy AA and then you overran the enemy with infantry. And this is nearly the same playstyle, only that the artillery does the killing on the enemy AA instead of your planes, like back in the day with Koniux. But that's obviously way harder nowadays, as AA got buffed. And also Koniux has way worse air than it had back in the day. 37mm once more coming in. Veggie rocks here though, getting bombed by a Focke-Wulf G1. Artillery still trying its best to stop the enemy AA. Focke-Wulf's now coming in the center, pushing back infantry that tries to push onto this flag. And trying to kill off the Sis-3 gun there. But in the north, the artillery still on the hunt for the enemy AA. Some light tanks moving up. The T-34 though is scary. Pioneery on the edge of the forest. Artillery trying its best there to deal with the 85mm. And 37mm over here, also under heavy fire now. Once more. T-26 from the rear, shooting its HE rounds. But the enemy AA slowly gets silenced. Italian artillery, super efficient in that. The combination of fighter, good AA, good artillery, and good anti-tank and solid bombers is just so powerful, and the reason why I think this division is so good. But obviously if you can't silence the enemy AA, this deck has a lot of a big problem. So something like Möbelwagens that can dodge your artillery and so on, quite a bit harder to deal with. 20mm in the north has fallen. Artillery tries to deal with the 85mm. G55 coming in for some strafing onto some Strelky. G1 on the hunt for a T-34. Yeah, loses line of sight there last second. Is a bit annoying. Artillery still trying its best to deal with the 85mm. Good direct hit there. Pioneers coming around, trying to get something onto the T-34. Only will get one flame shot up though. Not enough to get a T-34 completely pinned down as the Strelky LKMs intervened. Artillery not quite done with the 85mm, but 1-to-1 hit point. 37mm down in the south, 85mm in the forest in the rear. Saperji coming forward here, pushing in, but the 1410 has been achieved. And the artillery continues to fly, gets the 85mm in the north as well. And with that, the enemy AA is down. And my air, with still 20 minutes left, should be able to deal with the enemy forces in the north. Pioneery around as well. Not enough infantry to just break through my lines. G1 not having even a target anymore in the north right now, as another T-34 is following up later on. But for now, Autoblindata and Alpini Faust come in to try to allow a push in the north. Whilst in the south, Saperji rocks move into my territory. More Saperjis coming in as well. 85mm. Trying to deal with the M410. But the Messerschmitt 410 doesn't get killed by that. Another Yak 1B coming in. But a lot of air is around. And the Focke-Wulf bomber hunt down the 85mm. Getting the kill there. J87G1 getting a kill as well. And the Yak 1B just can run, as the G55s are hot on its heels. So the air fleet is around. 2 G1s, 3 Focke-Wulfs, 2 G55s. Is a solid air force, supported by a lot of artillery. It keeps the enemy pinned down. And infantry that wins the forest fights if I get them in there. Which sometimes was a bit of a problem, as I said multiple times before. Infantry, micro and positioning at the moment, my biggest weakness most likely. It's decent, I guess, but like really compared to the top level players, to Division 1 and 2 players in the league, I'm quite a bit off there at the moment. And whilst my artillery and airplay still is quite high level, especially my airplay I would say, still one of the best in the game, but infantry fights I could do better in. Tank positioning, I think I'm decent-ish as well, but not great. But the infantry especially, I'm just need other measures to win those, so that's why artillery and air bombardments are kind of key for me against better players. Alpini Faust moving forward. T34 coming in the rear. 12-12 is established. Pioneer over here. Trying to help out, but the amount of Sapergi is annoying. So my bombers will come around eventually, and then maybe my artillery can do the job. Trying to push onto this flag. Obviously have taken my opponent down heavily already. T55 flying around. Artillery coming in with a lot of heat. T34 in the north. Last remaining T34 on the battlefield at the moment. And we got the 1410 right now. And some armor still on the battlefield. T34 trying to dodge it now in the north. That's a G55. Finds a new target to hit here. In the Original Kani. M14 together with Auto Blindata just trying to overwhelm the T34. Get the shooter knocked out. That's what the 20mm are always good for. Trying to pin it down in time. And will be able to do that. And allow to deal with the last T34 on the battlefield. As the G55s together with the J87 just dominate the sky. Really my favorite unit in the game at the moment. The G55 fighter is just an absolute beauty. A lot of fun to use, a lot of fun to micro. Super powerful. 4010 is achieved as the tank falls in the north. 2 more T-34s, 3 more T-34s actually coming now. But the 1410 already has been achieved. And the artillery keeps on flying. Pioneer moving in the forest. That's an MG42. Will try to come up as well. L3 got its crew killed. 1410 still happening. Original Kani forced to fall back so the Bersaglieris can easily take some free damage onto it. And the 59 is on the way. Original Kani on full flight here. One more coming in, but there's a lot of forces coming in for me right now in the north. No reinforcements on the way, as obviously in sea phase investing into reinforcements ain't that easy. Fokker Wolf also helping out, dealing with the Sapergi in here. Another one is around though. Pioneer versus Sapergi is another show-off match down in the south. 59 has been established though, which means we have the double tick. And one Sapergi goes down, next one gets hit by a Fokker Wolf. Nearly goes down as well. Whilst more Sapergi will try to come in, but Koniux surrenders, and we go on to the semifinals. Whoop, whoop. I'm in the semifinals, guys, and this was a clean victory in the end. Like, this deck always needs a bit of time to get the snowball going, but once you have the snowball going, it's basically unstoppable. It's kind of similar to first DFL there. If you have artillery and air superiority, there's little your opponent can do. So, goal of the opponent is dealing with either. Like, if they can kill off your artillery, they're fine. If they can kill off your air, like some of your valuable air assets, they're fine as well. My opponent wasn't able to do that, so we were able to beat them and move on to the semifinals with a 2-0 victory. And our opponent in the semifinals is a known person in the community, Attack Power Gaming. So that should be a hot semifinals as well. Looking forward to that. And yep, the AS doing pretty well. And as you can see, the J87G1 doing a lot of overtime here. Killing off 3 T-34s with this one. And this one killing off 2. This one killing off another 3. Really decimating the T-34 numbers on the ground big time. So that was the way to victory. And I just can recommend playing out Alpina if you want to have a bit of a different playstyle. They are pretty enjoyable division. I think they're quite strong at the moment as well. So yeah, with that said, thanks for watching. If you liked what you see, consider clicking that subscribe button down there and the like button next to it and the bell, and then leave a comment down below about what you thought about the game. With that said, see you all next time and have a great day.